Hi there, this is Danielle Dunlop. Today I'll be making a shaker card that I made with the Sunny Studio stamp sets Beach Buddies, Fintastic Friends, and Ocean View. I already stamped, die cut, and Copic colored a bunch of images from these stamp sets, so no Copic coloring in this video. I will start with the backgrounds that I made for this card, and I'm going to do some ink blending and some smushing, all with Distress inks and Distress Oxide inks. I'm starting here with the back layer, which is going to be the ocean, and I'm using the ink smushing technique with Distress ink, Tumbled glass, and Peacock feathers. So I will just keep applying the ink with a plastic bag, or you can use some acetate. And the very important thing is that you dry the layers very well in between. And that's how I build up my ocean with the different shades of blue. You could actually add some more blue shades in there as well, like Mermaid Lagoon or Salty Ocean. But I just went with these two colors. Next, I'm going to ink up my beach layers, and I'm using Distress Oxide ink tea dye. And I start at the top where I want the color to be a little darker, and then I blend it out down so at the bottom it's a little bit lighter. For some extra dimension on the beach, I'm adding splatters with Distress Oxide ink ground espresso. The frame that I die cut is going to be ink blended in Distress Oxide tea dye and a mix of tumbled glass and peacock feathers. And the tea dye is going to be at the bottom half of the frame, and the tumbled glass with peacock feathers is going to be at the top half, so that the frame is just matching the colors that are going to be behind it in the card. Now that my beach layers and my frame are inked up, I can put the two together, so these are going to be all popped up for the shaker card. The beach layers are going to be glued behind the frame, and then the acetate piece is going to be attached to all this as well. And this is going to be my entire front layer of the shaker card. I applied double-sided tape to the frame and to the beach, and this is for me the easiest way to add the acetate layer onto the card. It's the most sturdy way to put it all together, so it's not going to fall apart. Now I'm going to add double-sided tape to the entire frame so that the shaker elements have all the room to move around when you shake it. So I'm using those thin strips from scrapbook adhesives. I love those when you have thin frames to pop up. And I'm gonna do a double layer, because when I use those shaker elements, I want to make sure that they have enough room to move around, and with a thicker layer of foam that works better. In the beach area, I'm using a wider foam tape just to fill up that space and to make sure my card is entirely sturdy. I have most of my critters somewhat positioned to where I want them, and I will need to use the window to make sure that the ocean critters are in the right place, that they show properly through that window. And I will keep going back and forth, putting the window in front of my background while I'm gluing down all these ocean critters. Now that all my ocean critters are glued down, I'm going to glue down all the images on the front panel, and I'm starting here with the palm trees, and then I'm going to glue down all these beach accessories that came with the Beach Buddies stamp set. So there's a hat, beach towel, sunscreen, sunglasses, and I'm just randomly gluing them down on that front layer of the beach. And then it's time to glue down all these adorable beach buddies. They're peeking over that layer of sand. They're so adorable. And once they're all in place, I'm adding some highlights with the white gel pen. Now it's time for the fun part, to put together my shaker card. First, I'm using the anti-static tool so that all the shaker elements won't stick to the foam tape. And then I'm removing all the backings from the foam tape, and I can pour in my shaker elements, which is a mix of some shaker elements from Trinity stamps. And now I can close the shaker card by putting the back panel to the front panel. And then I realized, and this happens a lot to me, that I forgot to put a sentiment on the card. So I had to find a space where it would fit and a sentiment that would fit. So I came up with "Can't wait to see you again" from the Fintastic Friends stamp set. And it fit just perfectly there on the send. I put my card on a card base with double-sided tape, and my shaker card is finished. I hope you enjoyed watching this card come together. Please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.